Simply one man's anger, one nation's hunger for power, and one world that failed to stop it. This is how the deadliest war in human history began. World War II was not just a battle between armies, it was a storm that swallowed countries, destroyed cities, and changed the lives of millions forever. From burning cities to silent graves, this war shocked the world in ways never seen before. World War II began in 1939, but its roots were planted earlier. After World War I, Germany was left weak and humiliated by the Treaty of Versailles. The country faced economic collapse, unemployment, and anger among its people. In this chaos, Adolf Hitler rose to power. He promised to make Germany strong again. He spread ideas of nationalism, hatred, and superiority. Many Germans, desperate for hope, followed him. Hitler rebuilt Germany's army and began expanding its territory. In September 1939, Germany invaded Poland. This invasion shocked Europe. Britain and France had promised to protect Poland, so they declared war on Germany. This moment marked the beginning of World War II. At first, Germany seemed unstoppable. Using a fast and powerful strategy called Blitzkrieg, meaning lightning war, German forces quickly defeated Poland, then moved on to capture Denmark, Norway, the Netherlands, Belgium, and France. By 1940, much of Europe was under Nazi control. Britain stood alone against Germany. The German Air Force began bombing British cities in what became known as the Battle of Britain. Night after night, bombs fell on London and other cities. Civilians hid in shelters as buildings burned. Despite heavy losses, Britain did not surrender. This resistance became a symbol of courage and survival. Meanwhile, the war spread further. In 1941, Hitler made a fatal mistake by invading the Soviet Union. This opened a massive new front in the east. The fighting was brutal, especially during the Battle of Stalingrad. Soldiers fought in freezing cold with little food and no mercy. Millions died, but the Soviet army eventually pushed the Germans back. This marked a turning point in the war. The same year, the war became truly global. In December 1941, Japan attacked the United States naval base at Pearl Harbor. The attack was sudden and deadly. Ships were destroyed, and many soldiers were killed. The next day, the United States declared war on Japan. Germany then declared war on the United States. Now, the world's strongest industrial power had entered the war. World War II was not only fought on battlefields, it was also a war against civilians. The most horrifying crime of the war was the Holocaust. The Nazi regime murdered 6 million Jews along with millions of others, including Roma people, disabled individuals, and political prisoners. They were killed in concentration camps in cold, cruel, and systematic ways. This genocide shocked humanity and remains one of the darkest chapters in history. As the war continued, the Allies, Britain, the Soviet Union, and the United States began to push back. In 1944, Allied forces launched the D-Day invasion in Normandy, France. Thousands of soldiers landed on heavily defended beaches. Many died, but the invasion succeeded. This allowed the Allies to move into Western Europe and push Germany from both west and east. In April 1945, Allied forces entered Germany. Hitler, hiding in his bunker in Berlin, saw defeat was certain. He took his own life. Soon after, Germany surrendered. The war in Europe ended in May 1945. But the war in the Pacific was still ongoing. The United States fought Japan in fierce island battles. To force Japan's surrender, the United States dropped 2 atomic bombs on the cities of Hiroshima and Nagasaki in August 1945. These bombs caused massive destruction and killed thousands instantly. The shock of this new weapon forced Japan to surrender. World War II officially ended in September 1945. The cost of the war was unimaginable. Over 60 million people died, including soldiers and civilians. Entire cities were destroyed. Families were torn apart. Europe and Asia were left in ruins. The war changed borders, governments, and global power. The United States and the Soviet Union emerged as superpowers, leading to a new tension known as the Cold War. After the war, the world tried to prevent such a disaster from happening again. The United Nations was formed to promote peace. War crimes trials were held to punish those responsible for crimes against humanity. Nations began rebuilding, but the scars of war remained deep. World War II was shocking not only because of its size, but because of what it revealed about humanity. It showed how hatred and ambition could destroy the world, but also how courage, sacrifice, and unity could defeat evil. The lessons of World War II remind us that peace is fragile and must be protected. The echoes of this war still shape our world today, making its story one that can never be forgotten. Simply one man's anger, one nation's hunger for power, and one world that failed to stop it. This is how the deadliest war in human history began. World War II was not just a battle between armies, it was a storm that swallowed countries,